What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Swisher coming back at you. You know what I'm saying, with my free agent thoughts now. I really don't want to have to look toward the future like that, but gotta be realistic, and chalk the season up as a loss, due to ownership. Need I say more? But this video will be about the free agent moves that I would make, and when it comes to this upcoming off season. Now, looking at it for what it is, and looking at the market and looking at who may be available, these are the guys who I'll be bringing, and I'm going to explain why. I'm gonna try to keep it real short when it comes to those players, but who knows? But first things first, starting off with the obvious move, Malcolm Butler. Looking at it for what it is, if I'm Malcolm Butler, I don't want to re-sign with New England because, one, you're on a bad defense. Two, there's no guarantee that that defense will hold up against Pittsburgh, because, like it or not, Pittsburgh is really looking like a real dangerous threat. You know what I'm saying? They have, like, they kept mentioning it, and it's funny how the actual NFL analysts and commentators mention the same thing that I'm saying right here on these videos. The exact same thing. And those things were the reason why the Pittsburgh Steelers just may win the Super Bowl. Look at what they have offensively. I mean, Pittsburgh is a true team when it comes to team building. Now, some may say that the Patriots are better at it, but when it comes to accumulating talent, the Pittsburgh Steelers are the Golden State Warriors. And I'll explain that probably in another video, or I'll probably explain it in this video if I have time. But like I say, Malcolm Butler, looking at the way, if I'm Malcolm Butler, I'm saying, these guys could have paid AJ Bouye and they didn't. I know they're gonna pay me because they need a corner, and if someone like me hits the free agent market, they not gonna bat an eye. They're not gonna think twice about it. They're gonna back up the truck and say, look, what do it take for you? What is it gonna take to get you here? If I'm Malcolm Butler, that's how I'm looking at it, and I'm saying adios, New England. Now, looking at it for what it is, he'll be going to a much better team, from a defensive standpoint. He'll be surrounded by a lot more talent than what he's surrounded by in New England. Not to mention, good man-to-man corner, decent, real, I'm gonna say decent. He's above average. Some would say nice or great when it comes to zone coverage. He's not the biggest guy, but he can press real well. So there's that aspect. Not to mention, he has decent athleticism. He's not gonna just get burned all the time. You know what I'm saying? Unlike some folks that are in a Texans uniform. I'm not gonna be petty and name names, but y'all know who I'm talking about. Well, a few guys who I'm talking about. Next, and I know amongst the fans, this would seem like they just going the old route of signing old New England players, but Jonathan Banks is another corner who I feel like he's not really getting a lot of love on that Patriots defense, and I don't even think he starts or plays. But like I said, when you look at the way the NFL is now and how teams go three wide receivers, on first and second down, this guy would fit our scheme perfectly, because one-on-one, I truly believe that this dude can run with Will Fuller, the fastest guy on our team, stride for stride in his hip pocket without making cuts or anything. I'm talking about if they were just to run a go route. I honestly believe that Jonathan Banks could stick with him. And that's saying a lot. You know what I'm saying? Not to mention he's young, very young, and again, looking at it for what it is, shit, Atlanta proved it last year. When you have athletes for pass rushers, athletes at corners, and athletes at safeties, you can generate a lot of turnovers. If you don't believe me, just look at the first half of the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? The reason Brady was making right reads and everything is just the Atlanta defenders were able to react faster because they were faster. It's not root metrics. It's not, rocket science. It's not none of that, man. It's just, can this guy get to this area if he if he sees this, this type of play, or this type of, if he sees the quarterback's throw motion and things like that, those type of things can happen, when you have better athletes, in my opinion. And like I said, when you have a pass rush like ours, quarterbacks, all 9 times out of 10 will get nervous fast and will have to get rid of the ball fast. And if the ball is not thrown accurately, you could be seeing a lot of pick sixes going the other way for the Texan defense. For you guys that like to hear Mark Vandermeer go rock and roll, touchdown rock and roll Houston, signing those 2 guys for corners can definitely help you make that happen, because like I said, you got to factor in our pass rush. Now, safeties. The 2 safeties that I would go after off of GP, just off of knowing that we've fortified our corner position with those 2 guys, because I'm not ready to give up on Kevin Johnson just yet. I do believe that he was shaking off the rust, and like I say, with a full, healthy, Texans roster, when the rush is getting there, I do believe that, Kevin, he'll be able to, you'll see more production from him, Also, I feel like Kevin Johnson is going through what Kareem Jackson was going through, Kareem Jackson didn't really started playing well until Jonathan Joseph came, I'm talking about young, fresh, 4-3, 4-3-1 Jonathan Joseph, not not the guy that's back there now. When you got another corner on the other side that you can rely on, you can take risks, take chances. You don't believe me on that? Go look at the Pittsburgh Steelers, or Troy Polamalu on that Steelers team. Troy Polamalu even said it. He would be guessing most of the time, and he would guess right a lot of the time. Shit, it's not hard. It's just, Now, that's another story for another day. But like I say, the safeties that I would go for are Eric Reed and Kenny Vaccaro. Now, why? Both guys bring that Bernard Pollard-ish type of dog mentality to your secondary. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about it. What's hurt Houston the last few years? Quick plays and plays that produce rack yards, which, if you guys don't know, that's run after catch. Those type of, plays is what hurt the Houston Texans. Now, teams do that knowing the fact that we don't have big hitters for safeties. Now, I use the term big hitters because when you're trying to throw a quick slant, and if you got a safety like Eric Reed or Kenny Vaccaro and that's reading it, and like I say, that QB's having to get it out hot, then that receiver's 9 times out of 10 gonna get blown the fuck up. Like, straight up, he gonna get blown up by either one of those safeties. And like I say, when you start doing that a few times throughout the game, receivers start getting nervous. These people aren't robots. They are human. You knock them on their ass a few times, and I promise you, when the ball is in the air and they see them defenders, they're going to hesitate. And in the NFL, all it takes is for an offensive or defensive player to hesitate just for a second, and it could either be a touchdown or a turnover. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, looking at our Texans front, you know, along with the pieces that we're at, I would add, like I said, you have a fierce pass rush, so the QB is gonna have to get it out fast. If his first read isn't there, due to good coverage, you get a sack. You know what I'm saying? These type of things are all positive plays for the defense. I don't know if people notice this, but coverage and pass rush, they correlate. They are one and the same. If the coverage is good, it can generate, the D-line being able to get there and get a sack. If the pass rush is fast enough and it gets there, it can cause bad throws. They can cause Blake Bortles type throws, which normally lead to pick sixes. You know what I'm saying? It's not hard, it's really not. They go hand in hand. Now, like I said, I've covered the safeties, I've covered my corners. Now, the next move that I would make, and this would be a real shocker to people, but I would try to trade Kareem Jackson and say maybe 2 4th-round picks, whether it be one from this year and one from next year, for Derek Rivers. Now, I don't expect everybody who follow me on YouTube to know who he is, but if you don't, go look him up. He's on IR for the Patriots. Now, the reason why I would make this move is because strictly off of the fact that he's coming off of an injury, and the Texans have been notoriously known to find those type of players where they're coming off of they are somewhat decent players, and they coming off an injury. They rehab them, they get them acclimated, and then they get right. You know what I'm saying? I personally believe that same type of thing can happen for Derek Rivers. Now, why would New England want to trade him? If I'm knowing Bill Belichick, he's saying, shit, it's already 1 year down the drain. Yeah, he was a rookie. That was his rookie year. But if we can get a player and some picks for him, New England's going to take that deal every time, because it can further help the team in their eyes. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, that type of move is very New England-ish, because you take something from them and you add it to your own. And the reason why, like I said, I would make that move, look at what Kansas City and the Broncos. Now, I understand that the Broncos necessarily haven't been good, but look at the Chiefs. They got pass rushers everywhere, from the D-line, not from the D-line, but from their nose tackles to their ends to their linebackers. That's what I want here. You know what I'm saying? I understand everybody's excited about JJ and Whitney and Clowney, but when you think about it, if like, just like with this year, and this is a perfect way to explain this, where has the pass rush been since those guys went down and got hurt? Clowney has been the only person. That's not going to help you in the playoffs, because you're going to start playing better teams, and they're going to game plan for him. You know what I'm saying? Which will inevitably make him less effective on the game. Now, like I said, just like on damn, I'm sorry, these cops and shit, I look back and they fucking with somebody, but I'm coming up on 15 minutes, man. I'm sorry, y'all, that cop situation and all that threw me off. But like I said, just let me know what you guys think on the video. You know, as per usual, like, sub, and peace. Feel free to give your comments. If you disagree, you know, feel free to take a jab. You know, I really don't care. You know, it is what it is. And if, like I said, if you like it, if you like this video, hit the hell out of this like video, and do your boy a favor. Please share, because I understand that, you know, I do these videos just for the fuck of it, but I feel like even though I'm not getting the views like that, I feel like my message is really starting to spread across through Houston, because I did a video where I said if they don't sign Cap, people should stop coming to the games. People have stopped coming to the games. You know what I'm saying? Like, and like I said, I this type of shit needs to continue. You know, like, as a whole, Houston, we need to unite and stand for something. You know what I'm saying? Or we gonna need to stand for something, or we're not standing at all. Straight up. That's just me on that opinion. But like I said, I'm out of here, y'all.